Hi, I'm Alex from Wilkinson Cameras. Today we've been shooting with various cameras including Canon and Nikon, but in this video I'll be focusing on the Canon EOS R system, more specifically the Canon EOS R5 and the R6 Mark II. We'll be comparing both cameras to see which one comes out on top, and we'll see if the EOS R5 is even still relevant so long after its initial release. Spoiler alert, it is. We've been out filming and photographing the Iron Man UK event in Bolton, which is a great subject to shoot to really test the autofocus and burst shooting capabilities of both cameras. You'll see that it was mostly Connor shooting today. I've used the cameras previously and I was doing my own versus video that day. If you want to see a Nikon Z8 versus Z9 rundown, then that's coming out very soon. Connor is a sales assistant at our Carlisle store. All of our staff are keen photographers and videographers, and he'll be telling you what he thinks throughout the video. By the way, if you enjoy watching this, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Okay, on to the cameras. The EOS R6 Mark II has a 24.2 megapixel sensor with the ability to capture up to 40 frames per second burst shooting and recording 4K video. The R5 has a 45 megapixel sensor with the ability to capture up to 20 frames per second burst shooting and records 8K video. Both are full frame cameras within the EOS R system. Canon's EOS R system is their mirrorless range. It was launched back in 2018, and since then there have been lots of cameras added to the lineup, both full frame and APS-C or crop sensor, and lots of impressive new RF mount lenses. I've actually got a separate video on full frame versus crop, so we'll put a link to that below and that'll help you decide which one you need. The EOS R system features new intelligent AF technology and an impressive range of RF lenses. Aside from the fact that these are all mirrorless cameras, so they're generally smaller, lighter and offer newer technology than Canon DSLR cameras, the RF mount is a key feature of the system. The mount allows for smaller lens designs, and the 12-pin connection enables much faster communications between the camera and the lens, as well as the ability to transfer more data. This means that RF lenses are not only able to focus faster, but also have additional features such as a control ring, which is programmable to various settings via the custom options in the camera. You can use your existing EF lenses with a lens adapter, but in the long run, you're going to benefit from switching your EF lenses over to RF lenses to make the most of the new technology.
So I've been using the 100 to 500 on the R6 Mark II, and the autofocus on it has been just insane, incredible. It sticks to every subject you want it to, and so accurately as well. I don't think I've missed a single shot with the autofocus on this camera, and it has been some weird conditions today where it's gone from dark to brightness, and it's held up through all of it with the minus 6.5 autofocus. It's just unreal.
So, speaking of autofocus, I'd say one of the key advantages to the R range, aside from the size, they really are a lot smaller than their DSLR equivalents, is the fast and dependable focusing. You might have seen our initial R6 Mark II video where we tested it on some dancers. It really does offer brilliant and easy to use autofocus. Both the R5 and the R6 II have advanced AF systems that perform really well in lots of different shooting scenarios. They both feature dual CMOS AF2 technology. This offers fast and reliable autofocus with advanced subject detection and tracking. They have eye detect and subject detection, including humans, animals, vehicles, and a few others. The EOS R5 will focus down to -6 EV and the R6 down to -6.5 EV. The autofocus on these cameras is just so good. It's also easy to set up and customise to your exact shooting situation. Tracking is available in all AF modes and in movie mode, so set your subject detection and set your focus mode and away you go. If you want single shot AF but eye detection, you can set this, but if your subject is going to start moving around, just change your AF mode to AI servo and you'll have eye tracking instantly. The R5 and R6 Mark II are both great when it comes to autofocus, but the R6's ability to shoot more frames per second makes it the ideal choice for sports and wildlife photographers. The R6 Mark II also performs better in low light, thanks in part to the lower resolution sensor when compared to the R5. The That doesn't necessarily mean that the R5 isn't a capable camera for sports. 12 frames per second mechanical and 20 electronic are still very, very good. If you will always be shooting in daylight and will benefit from the high resolution sensor for more detailed images or to print in large format, then the R5 is still great for sports or wildlife. The R6 Mark II does take the edge here, but the R5 isn't far behind. So let's move on to IBIS. Both the R6 Mark II and the R5 have up to 8 stops of image stabilisation when paired with a compatible lens. This means more stable video footage handheld, but it also means better low light shooting as you can use longer exposures and still capture sharp images. Sometimes it just isn't practical to use a tripod, especially for the type of work that we do, which involves fast-paced days and multiple locations and lots of moving around. Having good IBIS is key for a lot of photographers and videographers. In a recent firmware update, the EOS R5 gained IBIS high resolution mode. This takes a set of 9 shots, moving the sensor slightly between each using the IBIS mechanism. This simulates even smaller pixels. It then combines these separate shots in camera to produce an image with a resolution of approximately 400 megapixels. You've probably seen this in other cameras, Olympus, Fujifilm, etc. It does require a subject and a static subject, think architecture for example. Unfortunately, and obviously this wasn't something we could easily test today. So the R5 has the edge where IBIS is concerned, but probably only if you think that you're going to use the high resolution mode.
So some of the lenses I've been using today have been the 2470 2.8, the 1535 2.8, I've got the 100 to 500 right here, I have a 600 f11 and the teleconverters and a 70 to 200. And I mean, you can see just by the way I'm holding this, how lightweight this lens is. You tried to do this with the EF lens, you'd be struggling. It's normally a heavy lens, but yeah, it's just so light. I've got a backpack full of them riding a bike and I haven't had a single issue when it comes to weight with these things. You could shoot this one-handed without a problem, and that is one of the real kind of game changers of the R system, just how light everything is for them. There is nothing to this.
Moving on to ergonomics in EOS R system cameras. Canon seem to keep the DSLR feel to their mirrorless cameras with a bigger grip, similar button layout, etc. Depending on the price point, some cameras may feel more robust than others in the sense of the material and the weight, but it does come down to price point and where in the lineup that particular camera sits. Each EOS R camera looks and handles slightly differently, and that's usually down to what that particular camera specialises in. For example, the R5 has a very similar feel to the EOS 5D Mark IV. They're both professional level cameras designed to be used extensively by enthusiasts or professional photographers and videographers. Therefore, they have more buttons, more custom options, better grip, better handling, etc. The R5 is designed as a stills first hybrid camera and features a screen on top of the camera that displays all of your camera settings, making it easier to see and change your ISO, shutter speed, aperture. If we look at the EOS R5C, this is a video first hybrid camera and as a result has very different handling. For example, it has a red shutter button for recording video, photo to video switch, tally light, internal fan system, timecode input, output, and many more video features. The EOS R6 Mark II doesn't offer the same level of handling as the R5. It's missing the top display, for example. It's also smaller and lighter. To some this will be a bonus, for others they're going to prefer the handling of the R5. Both cameras feature high resolution, bright electronic viewfinders and fully articulated screens. I think when it comes down to the ergonomics of the two, the EOS R5 has the edge for me. I much prefer having a top screen just for the basic settings. It does feel that little bit more robust than the R6 Mark II.
I'm shooting on a R5 with a 2470 and a ProMaster ND filter. Currently got it set to 4K 50 frames per second. Just means we can slow it down if we need to get some nice slow-mo shots.
Video has come a long way in Canon cameras, especially since Canon pioneered full HD in a DSLR camera over a decade ago. The EOS R system is definitely taking advantage of all the new and updated technology like deep learning AI technology. Some EOS R cameras can now shoot up to 8K video, including 6K, 4K 60p and many more options. The EOS R5 shoots 8K 12-bit RAW footage, which is insane for a camera of this size. As you can see, the quality in the 8K footage is just incredible. It's brilliant for filmmakers and that need that extra image quality and detail. Firmware updates have kept the EOS R5's video features up to date, recently bringing in 120 frames per second in Full HD and C-Log 3. Olivia tends to shoot all of her content in some form of log, depending on what camera we're actually reviewing, but she swears by C-Log. The colours are lovely, the contrast is subtle, the dynamic range is impressive. Today we've filmed most, if not all, the video content in C-Log, so we'll show you some of the comparisons of the differences in how powerful colour grading is in comparison to standard colour profile. The R6 Mark II shoots oversampled 4K 60p or 6K RAW capture using an external Atomos Ninja 5 Plus recorder via the camera's HDMI output. The EOS R6 Mark II, whilst offering comprehensive video functions and capable of producing gorgeous video, definitely doesn't have quite the same video power as the R5. A recent firmware update to the R5 brought in auto power off temperature option, previously only seen in the EOS R3. This extends the video recording times when they would ordinarily be cut short. It won't lead to longer shooting times in all circumstances, but it basically allows the camera to assess the temperature and record for longer when possible, rather than just turning off after a preset amount of time to avoid overheating. The EOS R6 Mark II offers good video and is capable of 4K 60p. Olivia actually shoots 4K 60 for most of our YouTube videos, even with cameras that shoot 8K. Why? Well, it's a much more manageable file size and much easier to edit as a result. I would personally only shoot in 8K for a project that required that level of detail and high codec. Otherwise, 4K is perfectly fine for most users. If your work or hobby is going to involve a lot of video and stills, then you may want to look at the R5. If you're a stills first shooter who wants good video, then the R6 Mark II is going to be just fine. If you're a video first shooter, then, well, you should probably be looking at the EOS R5C, but that's a whole other video.
So shooting video with these cameras has also been a really fun experience. The IBIS on both of them giving you up to 8 stops of stabilisation, making it pretty close to gimbal-like, and that's going to save you like up to probably about £500 if you wanted to create your own video setup. And the C-Log just looks absolutely incredible as soon as you put it through all your post-editing software. But other than that, it's been so easy to set up. It's been about 3 clicks in a menu to get it set up to be professional video standard. And so far, I know the R5, it does have problems with overheating, and the R6 II has been absolutely perfect. The new upgrades it's had with the unlimited record time, with the 4 more megapixels, better autofocus, it's just smashing it. So, final impressions of using the R system. I've really enjoyed it. A personal favourite, R6 Mark II and the 70-200 f2.8. They pair amazingly, and for shooting sports today as we were, it was just perfect setup. I've also enjoyed using the R5 with a 2470, doing a bit of video with that, and trying out some telephoto lenses, using a 2x converter on a 600, on the 100-500, used the 1.4 converter, and it's just all been really fun, really simple to set up. The autofocus, again, still blown away with it, but Canon's is probably the best on the market, arguably, by some people. It's nice and simple. Canon's been doing it for ages and they're just finding their footing in mirrorless now, and I think they've really hit a stride with the R6 Mark II, R5, all that stuff that's trickling down from these pro level cameras like the R3. You're now going to find that even in the entry levels of the R50 and the R100. So it's a really good time to be getting into the R system.
That's a brief side-by-side comparison of the two cameras, covering some of the key features. So Is the EOS R5 still relevant? Absolutely. It's a very, very good camera, and Canon have kept it up to date with firmware updates. Revisiting the R5 has actually reminded me what a good camera it is. We're so spoiled with all the cameras that we get to try out and by seeing all the new releases that sometimes it's easy to think a camera that's been around for a little longer is somehow not as good. I know there's also a lot of people waiting for an R5 Mark II camera. I'm sure this will be brilliant when it does arrive, but I don't see this happening anytime soon. So which is better, the R6 Mark II or the R5? Well, it depends what you're shooting. Where you need the extra speed and the enhanced low light capabilities, the EOS R6 II excels. But if you need a camera offering higher resolution, extended video capabilities and more professional handling, then the R5 is the one to choose. It offers that more robust build and additional professional features, but your budget is also going to determine which one you might choose. There is a huge difference in price between the two models, and that's probably going to point more people towards the slightly more affordable EOS R6 Mark II. But which one will you choose? Or do you already have one? What do you want the EOS 5 Mark II, whenever that comes, to feature? Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it useful.